To the top of the afternoon. Well, it's only 9:49 a.m. West Coast, but if you're on the East Coast, it would be the afternoon on the East Coast because it would be 12:50 p.m. on the East Coast. But right now on the West, 9:50 a.m. Man, it's still morning time. People still getting out of their bed. People eating breakfast. Some people headed to work. It's early out West. East Coast, they done already got their day started. On the East Coast, they already eating lunch over there. 3-hour time difference. But shout out to everybody, man. It is what it is. I see the TARIQ NASHEED haters up in here already. But shout out to you, my brother. It's all good though. It's just conversation. Ain't no big big deal. Ain't no big deal. I'm gonna move this real quick and we're gonna blow it back up in a second. Yeah, shout out to LaMel Prince. It's almost 1 p.m. Out east, man. But yeah, man. Salute to everybody, man, for tapping in. You know, back with some more content. We ain't never left. We had a wonderful show last night, man. Wonderful show. We chopped up some game. We broke down the tampon Daniel situation with the chick that's saying he tried to smash her, he tried to sleep with her. You know, I said she's clout chasing. She want to get some of that Mika. Jazz is trying to get some of that Mika attention. I think that's gonna be my next video. She's trying to get some of that Mika attention. Right? Now hit the like button if you haven't already, man. We're gonna dive into this conversation. We're gonna talk about Dr. Umar and all this and all that. And yes, man, we got a lot of FBA grifters out here, man. Yes, I said it. We got a whole lot of FBA grifters. What do I mean by that? I'll explain. A lot of these cats is making FBA content was not doing that back in 2023, 2024. They wasn't doing it. And you guys know who you are. The audience, you guys know who they are. A lot of these dudes was just Pan-Africans 2-3 years ago. Now that the FBA conversation is hot, you got a whole bunch of grifters on the FBA bandwagon. Every other video got FBA in it or something about FBA. Man, you dudes are grifters. You have no identity. Then you got a lot of cats arguing and debating with Tethers, TARIQ NASHEED Juniors. Shout out to TARIQ NASHEED though. Tariq NASHEED is original with his. But it's a whole lot of you TARIQ NASHEED Juniors, a lot of you FBA grifters. I see you. Look at these dudes' content 2.5, even 3 years ago. This is a hustle, and a lot of people are grifting to get money, viewers, and subscribers. I see the play. I see the play from 100 miles away. You know what I'm saying? How come nobody supports the ADOS movement? I'm gonna tell you why. It's a LGBTQ ran movement. And I don't have nothing against Yvette, but I gotta be real. The ADOS movement is mixed in with rainbow community agendas. It's a rainbow community agenda mixed in with that ADOS movement. And it's just not a good look for foundational Black Americans. We're fighting for we're speaking for FBA, not for the rainbow community. The rainbow community needs they have their own battles. We ain't got nothing to do with that. So that's one of many reasons. There's other reasons, but that's probably one of the main, that's probably the main one. I'll put it like that. The ADOS movement is LGBTQ led. It is led by the alphabet community. It has an alphabet agenda mixed in with blackness. So nah. It's a rainbow front. Bingo. Shout out to you. D from BK. It's a rainbow front. And it is what it is. Anytime you allow the rainbow community and immigrants to latch on to what you're doing, your movement is not going to be too powerful, because you got people with different agendas all in the same mix, and it's not going to work. Right? So I understand why TARIQ NASHEED created FBA. TARIQ NASHEED understands how rainbow community agendas hurt Black civil rights. The rainbow agenda will destroy Black civil rights. But it's all gravy, baby. I just had to add that. But check it. Let's get into the content. Hit the like button for sure.
Those Black men, they should date. And if you're expecting Dr. Umar Johnson to unite with a Negro who tells Black men they should date Black women with white mothers, or brags about how much they want to sex up a white girl, if you're telling me that they have something good that I need to unite with.
I don't think TARIQ NASHEED wants to unite with you. I don't think foundational Black Americans want to unite with you, Dr. Umar. That's a false narrative. Nobody wants to unite with a pan-African who wants to create this all lives matter reparation movement. Everybody Black gets their hand, everybody that's Black get to put their hand in the pot. I don't think TARIQ NASHEED want to unite with you. I don't think FBA want to unite with you. Do your pan-African thing. We'll do the FBA thing. But we don't need to unify with you. Keep dancing to the drums of pan-Africanism. Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all hear this again. While Umar told this bold-faced lie. Nobody wants to unite with Umar besides pan-Africans and people who believe in that.
And if you're expecting Dr. Umar Johnson to unite with a Negro who tells Black men they should date Black women with white mothers, or brags about how much they want to sex up a white girl, if you're telling me that they have something good that I need to unite with, then I'm going to have to question your sanity, brother. I am not the only person who should have an institution. I'm one of the last ones on the international circuit, and I'm the first one to an institution of those of us under 50 years old. That's not acceptable, bro. There was no Caribbean slave trade, American slave trade, British slave trade. It was one slave trade, which was largely controlled by the British, and they owned more than half of all Africans enslaved. So if most of us was under one slave owner, why in the hell do we want to separate from other victims of the same slavery? I'll tell you why. Because
ABS and the what movement?
okay, for the first one.
Okay.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let me answer, Black man. Let me answer. I got the question. Let me answer. Okay, as far as the foundational movement, I don't know nothing about that. As far as the ADOS, the American Descendants of Slavery, I respect it. I do not support it, and I do not agree with it. I am a Pan-Africanist, and that movement violates three core principles of Pan-Africanism. Number one is identity. We are one African people. We are not multiples of different African groups. We are one human family. Okay, so identity is very, very important for Pan-Africanists and for any organization that calls itself American but refuses to call itself African is an organization I cannot rock with. That's number one. Number two, central to Pan-African thought and ideology, one of our core principles is that white supremacy must be overthrown internationally. It cannot be defeated regionally. You cannot defeat white supremacy regionally. We must all rise up at once. It must be an international, concerted effort by the global African family to destroy global white supremacy. Regional black nationalism will not overthrow a global enemy. Number three.
Okay, so you say that Pan-African's been around. Well, what have you guys done to defeat white supremacy? Right? Like, what have you done to defeat white supremacy? I mean, you're saying what FBA need to do. What have you guys done? Africa, listen, you can't even unite Africans in Africa. How are we gonna unite with a group of people who are not united themselves? You know how much tribalism goes on in Africa? South Africans can't stand West Africans. West Africans can't stand South Africans. And to take it a step further, West Africans can't stand each other. People in Nigeria don't like people in Ghana, don't like people in Cameroon. So how are you going to have this united front of black people when people in the motherland are not united? People in the motherland are separated through tribalism and all other types of BS that's going on over there. So the best thing for foundational black Americans to do is to unite foundational black Americans right here in the United States of America. That global thing is not going to work. You got to start somewhere. The first thing you need to do is clean up your backyard, but clean up your backyard before you try to clean up the whole damn world. Fix your backyard before you make an attempt to fix the whole damn world. It makes no sense. Now, I hear what he's saying, but when you look at things on a larger level, you're like, nah, man, I got to fix what's going on here. Africans in Africa are divided and separated through tribalism. You will never get anything accomplished trying to unite with them. People in Africa need to clean up their own, they need to clean up their own damn backyard, man. To make a long story short, it is impossible to unite with a group of people like that. It'll never work. You'll end up with pennies, you'll end up with nothing. Mission failed.
Okay, we are not multiples of different African groups. We are one human family. Okay, so identity is very, very important for Pan-Africanists and for any organization that calls itself American but refuses to call itself African is an organization I cannot rock with. That's number one. Number two, central to Pan-African thought and ideology, one of our core principles is that white supremacy must be overthrown internationally. It cannot be defeated regionally. You cannot defeat white supremacy regionally. We must all rise up at once. It must be an international, concerted effort by the global African family to destroy global white supremacy.
Let me tell you why this, excuse me. Do you think people in Mexico are waiting for Venezuela to fix Venezuela? No, Mexico got to fix Mexico's problems first, even though they're all Latino. Do you think people in Mexico are waiting for other Latino nations to fix themselves before they do something for Mexico, before they do what's best for Mexico? Hell no. Mexico understands that there's other nations, there's other countries that with Latino people. They understand that. But Mexico understand, hey, we got to do for Mexico first. We can't be worried about El Salvador. We can't be worried about Venezuela. We can't be worried about Colombia. Well, it's the same thing with us in the United States of America. Africa can't even fix Africa. So what do we look like being concerned about what's going on over there? Africa needs to fix their own problems first. You can't, listen, it is impossible to unite with a group of people who are divided and separated through tribalism. That is a waste of time. Great idea, but in reality, it's not going to work.
Regional black nationalism will not overthrow a global enemy. Number 3, okay, and probably the issue that I take most seriously with regard to the ADOS is the disidentification.
TARIQ is not copying ADOS, man. Like ADOS is ran by rainbow community members. Let me say this to you people. You see what happened to the civil rights movement back in the 60s? The Latinos hopped on it. The rainbow community people hopped on it, and they watered down what was civil rights. And civil rights was for foundational Black Americans. But when you allow other groups to infiltrate it, you water the message down. And then the people who originated it, the people who started it, gets absolutely nothing. So understand what I'm saying. ADOS is led by rainbow community members. You can't mix rainbow community policies with Black community issues. Let me say that again. You cannot mix rainbow community policies with Black community issues. It's not going to work. Rainbow community policies will water everything down. TARIQ NASHEED seen the play from a million miles away. He said, you know what? Great idea, Yvette, but you have a rainbow community agenda and you're trying to mix it with Black community issues. It's never going to work.
From our African immigrant brothers, okay, and probably the issue that I take most seriously with regard to the ADOS is the disidentification from our African immigrant brothers and sisters. I'm not disidentifying from nobody. Last time I checked, our Jamaican African brothers and sisters were enslaved. Last time I checked, our Cuban African brothers and sisters were enslaved. Last time I checked, our American African brothers and sisters were enslaved. We were all enslaved together. We were all brought from Africa together. Why am I going to disidentify from my Jamaican brothers and sisters, my Cuban brothers and sisters, my Black British brothers and sisters, my African brothers and sisters, when we are all being victimized by the exact same oppressor? The Jamaicans were enslaved by the British. The African Americans were enslaved by the British, except for the last 90 years. So why are we separating when we were both enslaved by the same power? So let me get this right. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. We're going to start a fight with them, but we're not going to start a fight with the LBGT who has stolen everything that Black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight with the Mexicans who have stolen everything Black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight.
Oh, we talk about Mexicans all the time, man. I'm a foundational Black American, and if anybody calls out the Mexican Latino community, it is me. Oh, I've called them out so many times, so much to the point to where you got Mexicans making videos about me claiming that I called them wetbacks when I've never said that. I just held them accountable for their actions. So you got Mexicans from the Mexican community who seen my videos and like, oh my God. So no, foundational Black Americans are calling out those people as well. Anybody can get it. I don't hold punches.
With the feminists. So let me get this right. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. We're going to start a fight with them, but we're not going to start a fight with the LBGT who has stolen everything that Black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight with the Mexicans who have stolen everything Black people have fought for.
That's the point. That's why that's why FBA had to separate from ADOS. ADOS is a rainbow community. It is led by rainbow community members. That's who leads ADOS. I don't have nothing against Yvette, but one thing I do understand, you cannot mix rainbow community policies with Black community issues. It's not going to work. And as far as the Latinos go, you defended Bad Bunny. Dr. Umar, you just defended Bad Bunny. So I don't want to hear that coming from you. I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Not going to start a fight with the feminists who have stolen everything black people have fought and for. There's about 50 million Mexicans.
Okay, let me be real. Feminists, the rainbow community members, and Mexicans have hijacked the civil rights movement. Now, I do agree with that. I said this a few days ago. There's over 50 million Mexicans or Latinos in this country. There's only 3 million Africans from Africa in this country. Major difference when it comes to numbers, right? So I've been speaking on that for many moons. One thing those white folks ain't gonna do is one thing that the white folks ain't gonna do. They're not gonna let millions on top of millions of Africans overpopulate the United States of America. Why? Because that'll boost the black population, and that's the last thing that they want. So they'll let white Latinos come over here by the millions, but they're not going to let Africans and Haitians come over here by the millions. The white man is not going to allow that. He's going to put a stop to that.
Mexican immigrants in this country, twice that number of homosexuals, 5 times that immigrants in the United States. We're going to start a fight with them, but we're not going to start a fight with the LBGT who has stolen everything that black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight with the Mexicans who have stolen everything black people.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of our FBA sisters are feminists. Unfortunately. And I say this out of love. But we understand what happened with civil rights. A lot of women said, you know, we're going to jump on a women's empowerment movement. So a lot of women left the civil rights movement to hop on the women's right movement, which was a movement of feminists. That movement promoted feminism to black women. And unfortunately, a lot of black women hopped on that train. Now, listen, if you a black woman who's not a feminist, I'm not talking to you. But the problem is we got a lot of sisters who are feminists but don't believe that they are. Let me repeat that. Unfortunately, we got a lot of sisters who are feminists, but if you left it up to them, they'll say that they're not. But when you have common sense, you can see that they really are. So let's say we got sisters that's in the rainbow community, right? So you got to take them out. Then you got sisters who are feminists. You got to remove them as well. They're no good for the cause. If you're a rainbow community member, or if you're a rainbow community member, you're not good for the cause. If you are a feminist, you're not good for the cause. That's counterproductive to black progress. Joining a rainbow community is counterproductive to FBA people. Being a feminist is counterproductive to the progress of FBA people. So my sisters, if you are a feminist, you're doing yourself a major disservice, as well as the FBA community. I'll say that. And to you black men who engage in rainbow activities, that's a major disservice to the FBA family. To you black men who are gangbangers and only see other black people as your enemy, you are counterproductive to the FBA movement. You are counterproductive to FBA people. King Supreme had to say that. Anyway, let's move on.
Enslaved by the same power. So let me get this right. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. There's only 3 million African immigrants in the United States. We're going to start a fight with them, but we're not going to start a fight with the LBGT who has stolen everything that black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight with the Mexicans who have stolen everything black people have fought for. We're not going to start a fight with the feminists who have stolen everything black people have fought for. There's about 50 million Mexican immigrants in this country, twice that number of homosexuals, 5 times that number of feminists. But instead of fighting with them, we're going to pick on the lowest group on the totem pole, our own kith and kin, African brothers and sisters. A house divided cannot stand. It's pan-Africanism or perish. I respect the ADOS movement, but I cannot support it.
All right, okay, let's go to the next caller. We got a caller that's calling in from Los.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Good question, my brother. By the way, good question. Okay. I always say that the more we become sincere in this struggle, the less ideology will matter. If you are an integrationist and I am a pan-Africanist, someone else is a socialist, someone else is a religious nationalist, even though we differ, if we are all serious about the liberation of African people, we will be able to work together across ideological lines. So I'm saying that to say that if there's a brother or sister who is sincere about Africa.
Now, what's funny is you're not saying that to the people in Africa. How come you're not preaching that to the people in Africa? Africa is the so-called motherland, right? How you gonna criticize foundational Black Americans, but you say nothing about Africans who are tribal? You say nothing about Africans who are separated and divided over there. Tribalism. That's the main people you need to be talking about. If you're talking about separation and division amongst Black people, you need to give that speech in Africa and see if they accept you criticizing them. How come it seems like Dr. Umar is too afraid to preach against separation and tribalism in Africa, but he gets on YouTube and social media and points the fingers at foundational Black Americans, but he has no smoke for Africa when Africa is supposed to be the motherland. If the motherland can't get it together, then what are we really talking about? See, Dr. Umar is not going to criticize African people because he's too afraid of the backlash, so he won't do it. So he points fingers at foundational Black Americans and tell us what we need to be doing. But he ain't got the nuts to tell Africans in Africa what they need to be doing. He ain't grew ball. He ain't gonna say that. Let me just do it. I want to keep it PG-13. He's not bold enough to tell Africans about themselves. He won't do it. He's too afraid of the backlash. So he points the fingers at foundational Black Americans. Why? Because Dr. Umar understands one thing, just like a lot of these Sambos, they know they can talk greasy about Black people and still get their support. He can't. Dr. Umar knows he can't talk greasy about Africans and still get their support. They'll boot his ass up out of that. They'll boot his ass off the continent. He understands that. This is why he never criticizes them.
Liberation, I can work with them across ideological lines. And I do work with brothers and sisters all the time across ideological lines. That's not a problem. My problem, though, is a lot of you assume that just because somebody talks Black talk, just because somebody has a YouTube platform, just because...
Yeah, FBA, hit the like button, man. Now, when I got to tell FBA people to support the channel and hit the like button, we got a major problem. We got a major problem. I've been noticing that. Hit the like button. Let's move on, though.
Somebody hustles cultural merchandise that they are serious about the liberation struggle. You mentioned two words. You said leaders and speakers. Since when does a speaker become a leader? And if you're expecting Dr. Umar Johnson to unite with a Negro who tells Black men they should date Black women with white mothers, or tell us it's okay to date interro who tells when does a speaker become a leader? And if you're expecting Dr. Umar Johnson to unite with a Negro who tells Black men they should date Black women with white mothers, or tell us it's okay to date interracially, or makes fun about the skin tone of certain Africans, or brags about how much they want to sex up a white girl, if you're telling me that they have something good that I need to unite with, then I'm going to have to question your sanity, brother, because I don't get down like that. And I think we need to raise our political IQ, because we have this mindset that says everybody with a YouTube page talking Black talk are serious about liberating Black people. And I totally disagree with you.
I agree with that, because we got a lot of FBA grifters. You got a lot of guys on YouTube making content about FBA every day. A lot of these guys were pan-Africanists 2 to 3 years ago. All you got to do, if you don't believe me, look at all these guys just doing FBA content. Look at their content from 3 years ago, 2 years ago. They wasn't making FBA content like that. These are grifters. They're talking about FBA things because it's trending right now. They can get views doing it, but it's not real. It's not organic. A lot of these guys were just pan-Africanists 2 to 3 years ago. So we got a whole lot of grifters over here in this FBA space. I be looking at these dudes. You got there's a bunch of wannabe TARIQ NASHEEDs, a bunch of dudes who want to debate with Tethers all day, taking TARIQ's blueprint. I mean, you guys are not even original. Let me debate Tethers all day since TARIQ NASHEED does it. Let me talk about Tethers every day since TARIQ NASHEED. Listen, you can represent FBA, but at least be original. You can represent FBA, but at least you can be original. So there's a lot of grifters in every lane, not just the FBA community.
Argue that 90% of the so-called black conscious YouTube personalities are opportunists, con artists, hustlers, and attention addicts. Opportunists, con artists, hustlers, and attention addicts who sit on YouTube all day long gossiping about almost nothing so they can get your attention and get some YouTube dollars. That's all it is. They're not building no institutions. They're not nation building. I should not be the only personality in black consciousness who has acquired an institution. I am not the only person who should have an institution. I'm one of the last ones on the international circuit, and I'm the first one to an institution of those of us under 50 years old. That's not acceptable, brother. Stop calling YouTube people leaders. It's an insult to every real black leader we've ever had.
Let's go back to
he was taking shots at TARIQ NASHEED. Because when TARIQ NASHEED said this, he said, well, if you get with TARIQ NASHEED didn't tell you to get with a mixed woman or a white woman. He never said that. Dr. Umar is a liar. You're lying, Dr. Umar. What TARIQ said is, if you're going to date a biracial woman, get one with a black father. I repeat, he said, if you're going to date a biracial woman, it's better to date one with a black father compared to dating one with a white father. That's what he said. But not once did he say, you need to get with a biracial woman. Not once did he say, you need to get with a white woman. Dr. Umar is a liar. He loves to spin the narrative. And when you spin the narrative, you're telling a bold-faced lie.
phone line. We got Los Angeles on the line. Los Angeles, good afternoon.
Okay. I hear the question. Let me answer it.
Thank you, brother.
Reparations is very important to many pan-Africanists, including myself, and we will get it. But if we get it, depends on how we approach it. Last time I checked, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and I am a student of history, but the last time I checked, there was one African slave trade. I'm almost certain that there was one African slave trade that took some of us to the Caribbean, and took some of us to Europe, and took some of us to America. I'm almost certain that there was one African slave trade. So if there was one African slave trade, there should be one reparations movement. The worst thing we can do is let white supremacy off the hook by dividing the reparations movement into parts. It needs to be one international, coordinated, and consolidated movement. There was no Caribbean slave trade, American slave trade, British slave trade. It was one slave trade, which was largely controlled by the British, and they owned more than half of all Africans enslaved. So if most of us was under one slave owner, why in the hell do we want to separate from other victims of the same slavery? I'll tell you why. Because there's an African-American arrogance and an African-American elitism and an African-American selfishness that says, I want my 40 acres and a mule, but I could give a damn if the other Africans in the world.
Why do we care? Africans sold black people, man. Why would we want to split the money with Africans when Africans are the one that sold black people in the first place? Now, of course, you have Aboriginal blacks here, but you had some that came from Africa because they did bring some. Why would we want to share money with a group of people that sold us? Never did anything beneficial for foundational black Americans, period. What if, and listen, I don't hate Africans, but I got to be real about this. I got to call a spade a spade. Why would foundational black Americans link up with Africans to fight for reparations when Africans sold black people in the first place? Who did they sell them to? The whites, man. So I'm gonna fight for reparations with a group of people that sold black folks? Man, please. Man, Negro, please. See, I said it before and I say it again. Dr. Umar ain't bold enough to criticize Africans because he's too afraid of the backlash. But he's not afraid to criticize foundational Black Americans because foundational Black Americans still support people who disrespect them every day. This is why foundational Black Americans still support Anton Daniels. This is why they still support Tommy Sotomayor. This is why they support Officer Tatum or any one of these Sambos. Do you know that Sambos still get a lot of support from the Black community? And I'm not talking about Tethers. There's foundational Black Americans who still support Anton, and all he does is kiss the behind of Caucasian males every day. Anytime a Caucasian has something negative to say about Black folks, Anton agrees with him. But guess what? Black folks still support this guy. So it goes back to what I said. Dr. Umar knows he can disrespect foundational Black Americans, and you're going to still have a percentage of foundational Black Americans who are going to support him. Dr. Umar knows he can't criticize Africans and get support over there. Dr. Umar is too afraid of the backlash that he'd get if he ever criticized Africans for selling Black Americans, for selling Black folks to the white man. Let me put it like that. He's not bold enough to criticize Africans. He's too afraid of the backlash, but he's not afraid of the backlash that he'll receive from foundational Black Americans. Nah, Dr. Umar ain't afraid of the backlash from FBA people. He's just not afraid of it. Dr. Umar fears Africans more than foundational Black Americans. He'll disrespect foundational Black Americans all day, but he won't do the same to Africans. And I think we know why.
Most of us took some of us to the Caribbean and took some of us to Europe and took some of us to America. I'm almost certain that there was one African slave trade. So if there was one African slave trade, there should be one reparations movement. The worst thing we can do is let white supremacy off the hook by dividing the reparations movement into parts. It needs to be one international, coordinated, and consolidated movement. There was no Caribbean slave trade, American slave trade, British slave trade. It was one slave trade, which was largely controlled by the British, and they owned more than half of all Africans enslaved. So if most of us was under one slave owner, why in the hell do we want to separate from other victims of the same slavery? I'll tell you why. Because there's an African-American arrogance and an African-American elitism and an African-American selfishness that says, I want my 40 acres and a mule, but I could give a damn if the other Africans in the world get theirs. United we stand, divided we fall. We get paid together or not at all.
I'm going to tell you why that doesn't make sense. Now, in a perfect world, that would make sense because in a perfect world, all black people globally would be united in a perfect world. But in reality, it's not like that, right? Foundational Black Americans, listen, you know, when we got foundational Black Americans, ain't never had to lean on no Africans, no Caribbeans, no Black people from Latin American countries to get anything accomplished. We never had to lean on any of those people. So why lean on them now? Reparations is for foundational Black Americans in the United States of America. We ain't got nothing to do with no reparations in Jamaica. We ain't got nothing to do with no reparations in Africa, Europe, the Caribbean, South America. We have nothing to do with that. Clean up your own backyard first before you try to unite with somebody else. Make it make sense. Why would foundational Black Americans link up with Africans and Africans sold Black folks to the white man? So why would we link up with them for, if anything, Africa owes us reparations. The white man owes us reparations. Africa owes us reparations. Tell Africa to break bread. Listen. What did Africa do with that money that they gained when they sold Black folks to the white man? What did Africa do with the money? When white folks said, we're going to give y'all money for these people, what did Africans do to build Africa? When the white man gave them that money to sell those Africans, to send Black folks all across the world, what did Africa do with the damn money? The white man gave you money and you didn't do a damn thing with it. And you think foundational Black Americans going to link up with some Africans for reparations when Africa sold niggas in the first place? sold black folks to the white man. What in the hell do we look like linking up with them for reparations? You sound dumb. Africa did nothing with the money that they got from the white man when they sold black folks.
Slave owner, why in the hell do we want to separate from other victims of the same slavery? I'll tell you why. Because there's an African-American arrogance and an African-American elitism and an African-American selfishness that says, I want my 40 acres and a mule, but I could give a damn if the other Africans in the world get theirs. United we stand, divided we fall. We get paid together or not at all. Did you see the NBA draft last year?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, man. You know, Africans sold black folks to the white man. Why in the hell would we link up with them for reparations? That don't make no damn sense. Let's link up with the people that sold us in the first place.
There is no FBI.
Listen, homie, let's share reparations with a group of people that sold us in the first place. I mean, make it make sense, man.
All right, we're in here. I'm TARIQ, as you guys know. Y'all come on in here. Let's chop it up. We got a lot to chop up. Game about. Everybody, I need you to retweet, share the link, let everybody.
Listen, homie, Africans sold black people to the white man. Why in the hell would you link up with them to get reparations from the white man? What did Africa do with all that money that the white man gave them when they sold black folks to the white man? What did Africa do with the money? Absolutely nothing.
Everybody know that we are in here live. Share the link and let everybody know that we are in here live, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Oh, we're going to chop up some heavy game. I need the family, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Kickstarter going for Hidden Colors 6. We cannot get Hidden Colors 6 completed without you good people. All of it, or the movie will not be very, very important. First of all, let me shout out my mods in here. It's our sister. But we're going to learn. All right? We're going to learn. We're going to learn. We're going to do some good learning in here, okay? So I need y'all to get some pens and paper, and because I want to be ignored, ladies and gentlemen. You have major media outlets talking about foundational Black American history. You, the grassroots, got all of these institutions using our language. The grassroots of foundational Black Americans has always been the driving factor in this country. All right? We got medical journals using the term foundational Black American.
Yeah, foundational Black American is global. Everybody knows about it. Hey, man, great job. Mission accomplished. Hey, we still got a lot of work to do, but we came a long way as FBA. Yeah, man, you want us to share reparations with a group of people that sold us to the white man? Listen, homie, what did Africa do with the money that the white man gave them? Did they use the money to build Africa? Absolutely not. They did nothing with the money. And you want us to link up with them to fight for reparations? Clearly, they took money from the white man to sell us. Now, of course, you're gonna ask them, I ain't African. I'm an Aboriginal. All right, whatever, man. But you get my point. I ain't got an ounce of African blood in my body. I'm a Black Aboriginal. Okay, man, say whatever you want. Last time I checked, they lumped Aboriginals and Africans that came from Africa that the white man brought on a boat. They mixed everybody together and called everybody Negro. So at some point, they all mixed together and had babies. So the reality of it is, a lot of us have native blood. A lot of us have African blood. They mixed Black people together and said, we're going to call them all Negroes. Nobody gets special treatment. They're all Negroes. Let's put them on the same plantation. Breed them and sell them. Let's put them on the same plantation, breed them and sell them for profit, financial gain.
All types of city, state, federal documents using the term foundational Black Americans. This is a thing. This is the new norm. And That's something coming from the Black grassroots, the foundational Black American grassroots. That's why so many people are kicking and screaming, because this is a powerful delineation movement.
Oh, I never said that we are Africans, but we have African blood. See, I know you're going to have me, I ain't African. I never said we are Africans. We have African blood. I don't care if you was a Black Aboriginal or a Negro that came from Africa. They mixed all these Negroes together and put them on the same plantation, which means they had babies. They mixed with each other. There's no way to get around that. If you was considered a Negro, they put you on a set. If you was considered a Negro, they put you on the same plantation as the same plantation with the rest of the blacks. They didn't sever. He's an Aboriginal. I'm not going to put him on the same plantation with the Africans. Bullshit. They took all the people that was considered Negroes and put them on the same plantation.
This is one of the most powerful movements that we've had, coming from the grassroots. Let's say I look like Nino Brown. I got my Nino Brown jacket. Uh-oh. I'm dressed like a 90s D-boy. But listen, so because this delineation movement, the FBA delineation movement, is so powerful and popular, been a lot of people who've been profiting off of pan-Africanism, trying to sell pan-Africanism. They feel a certain way about it. This has kind of dried up that little Pan-African thing. All right? And the prince of Pan-Africanism, some people say the prince of pan-pizza, some people say the prince of pot pies, some people say the prince of pork and beans, some people say the prince of Panera bread, some people say the prince of peach cobbler. There's so many different euphemisms, but your guy, Umar Johnson, has been very critical of the delineation movement. And he did an interview on this podcast. And the thing is, Umar used a lot of bad faith arguments. He kept trying to frame foundational Black Americans as a group, which we're not a group. We're not an organization with a hierarchy. I'm not the leader. You're not the leader. Nobody looks at me as the leader. I've never assumed a position of the leader, because you cannot be a leader of a lineage.
We got 700 something. We have 700 something people in here. Y'all ain't blessing the Cash App. Y'all ain't blessing the Super Chat. What's up with this audience over here, man? I had a better audience when it comes to contributors on Red Supreme TV1. Let me repeat that. I had a better audience when it comes to contributors on Red Supreme TV1. Way better audience over there that actually supported the platform. Anyway, hit the like button. Shout out to TARIQ NASHEED.
You understand? You cannot be the leader of a lineage, and people know that, but people feel powerless because of this delineation movement. It is leaderless. That's what makes it so powerful, okay? Because it's a leaderless delineation movement, okay? It is a leaderless delineation movement, ladies and gentlemen. We are recognizing our foundational Black American lineage. So Umar's out here giving some misinformation, trying to frame our lineage as a group. And then he gets into some other bad faith arguments. And then he starts talking about he's going to start his own movement, the descendants of African freedmen. Okay, let me play some of this. Fair use, and shout out to the brother who interviewed him. I think the brother was pretty fair. The brother was very fair. And y'all subscribe to this brother's podcast. The brother has a pretty decent podcast from what I've seen. All right? Let me get to that. It's called It's Up There Podcast. It's called the It's Up There Podcast, and we're going to skip through it and listen to the Prince of pork and beans. All right, here we go. Let's listen to Umar. Hold on one second. Let's play some of this. Here we go.
Understanding of a movement called FBA.
Okay.
Pan-Africanism and FBA. How do they contrast or complement one another?
Okay. Well, first of all, Pan-Africanism is the Black man's oldest formal political ideology. We gave birth to the first free, independent black nation in the world, Haiti, right? Pan-Africanists are some of your greatest black leaders, your greatest black organizers. If
Like who?
you're looking at achievements, nobody compares to Pan-Africanists.
What? Okay. What are the achievements? See, people just say stuff and then don't elaborate.
Right. He didn't bring on like, what are the achievements? What are they? Name some of your achievements as a Pan-African. I would like to know. The people would like to know. Anyway.
What are the achievements? What are the achievements? Yeah, people just say stuff and then don't elaborate. Okay. Where are these achievements? All right.
Nobody. Hebrews, Moors, Nawapians, Gods and Earths, Nation of Islam, I love them all. Nobody compares to Pan-Africanism. If you want to go achievement for achievement, you can put all them together. You don't touch us.
Okay, what's the achievement? Okay, us? Us? What's the achievement? Notice he's not saying nothing. You say stuff and then don't elaborate. What are the achievements? All right, hold on. Hold on.
Okay, and I say that respectfully, but it's the truth. Okay. ADOSFBA, respectfully, I'm going to go with both groups because they represent basically the same thing, but there are differences, right?
There's no group. ADOS is a group. Let's be very clear, just for the record. That's why people like to tie our lineage with ADOS. ADOS is a dead brand. That is an organization self-proclaimed with self-proclaimed leaders. All right? People were rocking with the hashtag ADOS, only the hashtag. Most people never rock with the organization ADOS. People were utilizing the hashtag because the hashtag meant descendants of slaves in America. They were just rolling with the hashtag. Strappy and Tone Tits start running around telling people they were the leaders of every damn body, and people got turned off and said, okay, that shit is dead. All right? So let's be very clear. ADOS is an LGBT-led organization.
Oh, troop bomb right there. ADOS is a rainbow community-led organization. That is a fact. You cannot mix rainbow policies with black community issues. It's not going to work. Yvette and Tone Talks was mixing black community issues with rainbow community policies. They were trying to mix the two, and it's not going to work. Terrible idea. Horrible idea. I want y'all to hear it again.
Hashtag ADOS, only the hashtag. Most people never rock with the organization ADOS. Yeah. People were utilizing the hashtag because the hashtag meant descendants of slaves in America. They were just rolling with the hashtag. Strappy and Tone Tits start running around telling people they were the leaders of every damn body, and people got turned off and said, okay, that shit is dead. All right? So let's be very clear. ADOS is an LGBT-led organization. This is not the same whatsoever. There is no FBA group. All right? There is no FBA group. So let's be very clear. He knows that. He knows that. All right? All right, hold on.
So ADOS,
Which is a descendant of slavery.
no, they're first. FBA comes later.
Okay.
Okay, but they both exist. FBA is more popular, right?
Okay.
Right, that's true.
ADOS FBA. It's so easy to become a podcaster with.
Okay, hold on. Okay. This thing got commercials. Hold on. What the hell? Okay.
Have a problem.
Get them commercials out the screen, man. So all you people who do reaction videos, man, get the premium so the commercials don't pop up during your video. Shout out to TARIQ NASHEED, though. I'm not saying that if you don't send support, you can't be in the comment section. That's not what I'm saying. But if we got 800 some people watching, getting 20 supporters should be very easy. 20 supporters out of 800 people, that's not even 10% of the audience. that's not even 10% of the audience. And if we don't get 10% of the audience, that says a lot about the people who are watching. But no, you can watch the content. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy the content in the comment section if you don't send a cash app. Let's get 10% of the audience, at least, maybe more, but at least 10% of the audience to support the work. That's all we're saying. Hit the like button. Let's get back to the content. You are entertained. You love the content. You're entertained.
With the American African people seeing the need to make it clear to other branches of the global African family that when you come here, you need to be clear that we built the house and rolled out the carpet for you. Be respectful in my home the same way you would want for me to be respectful in your home. So the concept of that American African identity,
American African? What's that?
I have no issue with it. It needs to be done. It needs to be said. This is not new. What is new about it is the adversarial stance that they are taking towards African immigrants who come here from the diaspora, and the energy that they give them, the negative energy that they give them.
And this is the horse crap right here, ladies and gentlemen. These people always frame people of our lineage as being hostile to these poor little immigrants. They come over, they just have a little bag of beans and some egusi. They just want to whack. And we're just beating up on the poor little innocent immigrants. That's a horse crap narrative. Mm-hmm. That, ladies and gentlemen, the framing of that, and they love framing this false narrative that people of our lineage are just beating up on these poor little innocent, harmless people who just want to come over and do better. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen. They always ignore all the vitriolic things these people do when they get over here. Not even when they get over, even back home. But they always ignore all the Myron Gaines and all the Akata talk. All parts of Africa, they have pejorative terms for us.
Yeah, man. And I'm speaking of foundational Black Americans. If you rock with Myron, let me tell you something. If you're a foundational Black American and you're friends with Myron, my God, man, where's the code? You got foundational Black Americans who still rock with Myron. After all that disrespect he didn't have for foundational Black Americans, you got FBA dummies who are dumb enough to go over there. Now, a lot of us ain't that dumb, but some of us are. And those are the people that I'm talking about. Let me say something to you, foundational Black Americans. Myron would never rock with you if you disrespected Sudanese people on your platform. And you made it your job to disrespect Sudanese people. Myron wouldn't rock with you. Myron has more pride in his people than you do. So all you FBA dummies, Myron would never be friends with you. If you disrespected Sudanese people every week on your platform, Myron would not be friends with you if you did that. But you idiots who happen to be FBA, you're friends with Myron, even though he disrespects FBA every chance he gets. It's a whole lot of, I ain't gonna say it's a lot of them, but you guys know who they are. There's a decent amount of FBA people who are still friends with Myron.
They all have negative terms for us. The whole vibe is when you get over there, stay away from the Akata, stay away from the Yankees, stay away from the Jareers. There's always these negative tropes for us, but it never gets called out. They never call these things out. And for the longest, many continental Africans have been getting a pass. They've been getting a pass for a lot of stuff that they've done for a long time. They always make excuses for the little janky stuff that they do. Even their role.
Yeah, there was some people that I was cool with, but once I seen they was hanging with Myron, I can't deal with you, man. I can't deal with you. There's some FBA brothers that I used to rock with, but once I seen that they were still cool with Myron, it's like, I can't take you serious. I don't care how successful you are or what you're doing. If you a foundational Black American that's cool with Myron, I can't deal with you, man. I just can't do it. Makes no sense. Just makes no sense. Myron, listen, homie, Myron has gone out of his way to disrespect the legacy of FBA people. And you got FBA people who still hang with him?
The slave trade. Oh, they didn't know no better. The white man came and tricked them. Yeah, I know they call you an Akata and they say they gotta stay away, but the white man showed them a video during the immigration process and the video showed negative. So it's always somebody that tricked them, somebody that done something to them. So they've been skirting responsibility. They've been not held accountable for shit. Now they're being held accountable. That janky stuff ain't gonna fly no more. The foundational Black American lineage is tired. You calling these people out. Y'all gonna stop all that bullshit. Your little scams that you do. If you do a scam, you're doing your scam as an immigrant. You're not gonna do it and hide under blackness when it's convenient. You're not going to take all your wins and hoard them for yourselves and then throw your losses on us. You're not going to be like Shabuzi. You win a country Grammy and then hop on stage talking about, shout out to the immigrants. Yeah, we immigrants built this country. Have a good night. We're not doing that. You're going to get called out for that. It's accountability time. They've been skirting accountability for a long time. They've been skirting accountability, and this is the first time that they've been held accountable by us because we're the only people who's helping them. We've been the only people. And we're the first to get thrown under the bus by them, and we're saying enough is enough. It's a whole new day, and this delineation is whooping that ass because we're not even harming them. We're just saying, hey, okay, do you, okay, whatever, culturally, you got it popping. Okay, this is our culture here. So now if we don't lend them our culture, oh, you're doing something to us, you hate us. No, you're not going to gaslight us. This is the new norm. But let me play some more of the Prince of Panda Express. All right, let me play some more of that. All right, just rock with me. Fair use again, just fair use. And if there's any commercials, y'all watch it. All right, I'm gonna skip through those if there's any commercials. All right, hold on.
Which supersedes the negative energy you give to the white men who enslaved you then and oppresses you now. There's nothing a continental African immigrant can do to me that can supersede what the white man has done to me.
See, that right there, that's that, oh, don't make them accountable. What? Don't look at him, look at the white man. Don't look at me, no. This whole thing, we're supposed to give them a pass because they ain't white? No. That's that whole thing. We're supposed to excuse everything they do. We're supposed to just not say nothing because they ain't white. So if they do something, but the Trump, look at the white man over there, he doing it too. No. The difference is, I know when he's coming, he's going to be with some bullshit. I know, I could see the white supremacists coming.
Yeah, but Dr. Umar is saying, well, never mind the Africans that disrespect you. You need to just be focused on the white man. Man, Dr. Umar is so smart that he sounds dumb at times. He sounds dumb at times. So just ignore the disrespect from the Africans. What you need to be focused on is the white man. All right, my nigga. All right.
And when he's coming, I'm already getting my defenses ready because I know it's going to be some BS. You, on the other hand, you're trying to look and act like us, and you're sitting right next to me as if you are my brother while you're undermining me. You are equally, or hell, more than.
What do you mean? Where's the heat for the oppressors? TARIQ Nasheed talks about white supremacy all the time. I call out white people all the time. What do you mean? Where's the smoke for the oppressors? Are you listening? I swear some of you people just be typing, but you don't listen. TARIQ has been talking about white supremacists for years. He's talked about surviving in the system of white supremacy, how to operate in it, how to become successful in it, how to deal with the obstacles, how to get past the hurdles. So what do you mean? Where's the smoke for the oppressor? Are you listening? We call out the white man, we call out the Mexican, and we call out the Africans. Call out the white man, the Mexican, and the Africans. Call them all out. All of them deserve to be called out.
Dangerous than him because you right up under me with his mindset. So yeah, I'm going to watch your ass. I'm going to watch him. If a Myron Gaines sitting next to us, yeah, he's going to be very dangerous. He's right up on you. Yeah? Using his melanin. And act like us, and you're sitting right next to me as if you are my brother while you're undermining me. You are equally, or hell, more dangerous than him because you right up under me with his mindset. So yeah, I'm going to watch your ass. I'm going to watch him. If a Myron Gaines sitting next to us, yeah, he's going to be very dangerous. He's right up on you. Yeah? Using his melanin. So everybody can be held accountable. You're not going to get a pass because you ain't white. No, if you do something janky, you're going to be held accountable at this point. We've given people a pass long enough. They've been using the I'm just a bitch ass nigga. They've been using that pass. You know in the movie Friday with Michael Blackson, he's up there talking crap, and then they Ice Cube started, and was it Ice Cube whooped on him? And then he started, please, I'm just a bitch ass nigga. They've been using the I'm just a bitch ass nigga defense for a long time. Please, I'm just weak. I don't know no better. I'm hungry. I just want food. Oh, hungry. I just want food. Okay, man. All right. We've given Friday with Michael Blackson. He's up there talking crap, and then they for a long time. Please, I'm just weak. I don't know no better. I'm hungry. I just want food. Oh, okay. We can't, man. All right. We've given them a pass on that. We've given them a hunger pass. We ain't doing that no more. Get your hungry ass over there and chill out.
I mean, we have given them a pass for a long time. We've ignored them for a long time. But the disrespect has gotten so out of hand to where it's like, all right, man, we got to put our foot down. We got to say something about this. These Africans been getting away with this for way too long. Disrespecting FBA, disrespecting us. And they refuse to acknowledge that the only reason that they're over here is because of us and the things that we fought for. Our civil rights is what got you over here. Our 14th Amendment is what got you over here in the first place. But these Africans refuse to acknowledge that. So now it is time to put these people in check. So let them know we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to stand for it. The same way that you wouldn't tolerate us disrespecting you in your homeland. We're not going to tolerate it over here if you're not going to tolerate the disrespect over there.
Don't be up in our business, because see, we got the Congressional Black Caucus full of these people who's infiltrating our policy that's affecting us politically. So it's a whole different vibe now. We got Byron Donalds and people like that out here hopping out. Hey, I want to represent black people, and yeah, nobody should get reparations because I'm Jamaican and Panamanian and I can't get it. So yeah, we ain't nobody gonna get it. We got Wes Moore, who from a Tether background, no, undermining us politically. Obama undermining us politically. Kamala Harris undermining us politically. We're not going to ignore them and say, "Well, the white man be doing it too. There's nothing they can do that's gonna supersede the white man." If you
ain't nothing they can do that's gonna supersede the white man, so I'm just gonna forget about the fact that the Africans disrespect us. You need to be talking about the white man. Never mind what the Africans say. You need to talk about that white man. They're telling us that we need to focus on a white man so that we'll ignore the disrespect that comes from them. Ignore the disrespect that comes from them and just focus on the white man. That's exactly what Dr. Umar is telling you.
Doing the bidding of the white man, we have to treat you both the damn same. If you're doing the bidding of them, we're going to treat you both the same. You don't get a pass because you got some damn melanin. No. Those days are over where they just get this hunger immunity. No, those days are over. All right, let me play some more. Hold on.
Yeah. Foundational Black Americans should ignore the disrespect that comes from Africans and just focus on the white man. Great idea. Great idea.
All right, here we go.
There's nothing a
Instead of trying to-
Central South American
Well, what if-
African immigrant can do to me that can exceed what the white man has done to me. So why is it I can have so much vitriol, hatred, disrespect, animosity towards someone who looks like me just because they came from another place?
None of us are like that. See this false framing? Not one of us think like that. We don't care. We are not that emotionally invested. We're the only ones who help them get over here. You can't have all this vitriol and hatred and you're helping the people get here. We don't have no hatred for nobody. All that animosity. No, we don't.
We don't have no animosity for nobody. Shout out to the real FBA people, the people who's been pushing this hard line for the last few years. But to all you grifters who were just pan-Africanists 2 years ago, man, get up out of here. You're just hustling. You're tagging FBA in your titles to get traction. A lot of these guys who are talking about FBA don't even like TARIQ NASHEED. If you look at some of their past videos, they didn't even like TARIQ NASHEED. A lot of these guys who claim FBA, these dudes are grifters. They're hustlers. You was just a pan-African 2 years ago. And I know who you are. Don't make King Supreme call you out. I was a pan-African 2 years ago. Now I'm a stumped down foundational Black American. Why? Because I can make money talking about FBA on YouTube looking ass. I see you fools.
We don't care. They got it for us. A lot of them got jealousy and all. It's the same. They got the same tribalism mindset that they had back home. And then they bring it over here and project it onto us. We aren't going to their homelands, infiltrating their political structure, trying to undermine them. Everything constructive they got, that we made a lane for them.
Dr. Umar said Dan Calloway is just a YouTubian. Dan Calloway ain't got enough clout to have a conversation with him. He said Dan Calloway is just a YouTubian. Dr. Umar is a global speaker. People pay Dr. Umar to speak in other countries. He said Dan Calloway is not on his level. He's a YouTubian. Dr. Umar said that Dan Calloway is beneath him. Dan Calloway got to get his weight up to have a conversation with him. That's what Umar said. Umar said, I do speeches in Africa. I do speeches in Asia, Europe, all across the world. Dan Calloway is just a YouTubian. He's not on my level.
Come on now. This false framing. Hold on.
When the white man who's responsible for my hell here, I'm never giving him half that energy. And then on top of that,
And that's it's always up with us with the white.
Shout out to Chief Fan 1 for the Cash App. Shout out to Kenneth. Shout out to Kenneth Earl for the Cash App. Shout out to Martin Williams for the Cash App. Now, we got 8 people. We got 800 people up in here. Support the show. Put some respect on the damn show. Let's get 10% of the audience to support this damn platform. Let's see what the audience is made of. Anyway, let's continue. But Dr. Umar said that Dan Calloway is a YouTubian who's not on his level.
Supremacists.
it's contradictory in this way. You still identify with the white man.
Uh-oh.
You are a Black American?
Yes.
Since when?
Since the beginning of the country.
So you'll call yourself an American, but you'll never call yourself an African. Think
Because we're not continental Africans.
about that now. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to wave their flag.
That's our flag.
After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to use their colors. After everything I've been through in this country, I'm still going to identify with the plantation and call myself an American. So I don't have an issue with the concept. I take issue with the strategies. And
So are we supposed to identify with the other white man who colonized all over Africa?
Great point. I said that on Sunday. Listen, I did a live stream about Dr. Umar going on his podcast on Saturday. Or was it Sunday? It was either Saturday or Sunday. I said, well, what's the difference? Claiming to be African, who colonized Africa? The white man. So what's the difference?
They colonized Africa all over. We are the people who represent what America is supposed to mean. The white supremacists don't even represent that. We represent all the greatness of what America is supposed to be. See, that's us. That is us. That is us. We are Americans. We're not claiming a distant land that we've not been on for half a millennia from the people who sold us, and we're supposed to claim them? Huh? Who sold half of us, because a lot of us were already here. We'll get on that in a minute. We're supposed to claim the folks who sold half of us, and then
yeah. Bloodhound was my boy. Bam Bam. Bloodhound is my homeboy. I used to kick it with Bloodhound all the time. He used to live on 3rd Avenue. He used to live over there on 3rd Avenue in Pico. Tony, that's my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Light-skinned Tony with the braids. He had the low rider. He had the gray Cadillac on D's with the switches. Yeah, that's my homeboy, Tony. Yeah, man. He got deported though, man. You know, he was from was it Sweden or one of them countries over there, man. But yeah, Bloodhound, that's my dog. I grew up, I've been knowing Bloodhound since I was 13 years old, man. Yeah, I've been knowing Bloodhound since I was 13 years old, man. That's the homeboy.
made us walk around trees to forget the little janky shit they were doing, and we're supposed to reach back and identify with that? A nation that ain't even there no more? Because we've been here longer than many of the current nation states. Those nations aren't even there no more. Yeah, we're not going to identify with a non-existent abstract body of land that's been carved out and remixed and has no historical legitimacy anymore. We've shaped our culture.
Yeah, the homie got deported. So you got to think, his dad is white, but his mom was black. His mom was Belizean and Jamaican, and his dad was a European from like Sweden. Bloodhound came to America when he was a kid. Bloodhound he was in the army. Yeah, that's my homeboy right there, man. I used to kick it. Listen, Alex Alonso did a video shoot at Bloodhound's house back in was it like 2005? I believe it was like 2004 or 2005. Alex Alonso from Street TV did a documentary over there, and he brought out the cameras, and all the homies came out, was kicking it. Well, yeah, man, we was at Bloodhound house. You know, they had the cameras out there. Yeah. But anyway, man, I think I'm going to do some content about that, man. But yeah, shout out to you, Bam Bam.
In our history, right here on this land, the world has been dealing with systematic white supremacy, not just here. They're going through it too. They went through colonization and their own form of oppression there. We went through a form of oppression here. Yeah. The great thing about us, we never signed a deal. They signed all types of treaties and all types. So they legitimized the white supremacists to a certain degree. We've never legitimized them. It's always been up with foundational Black Americans. We've never signed a deal legitimizing white supremacy. None of it. No. We're the only people who can say we've never done that. That makes us different. Let me play the rest. Let me play the rest, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hold on.
Hit the like button. Let's get back to the content, family.
But if someone is saying that, all right, we look at anyone that is putting in our place and getting access to resources that belong to us because they built their core wealth off coerced labor from our people, but you can come in as an African, as a quote unquote immigrant and get certain access to things that maybe the foundational Black Americans, what they call themselves, believe that, yo, that's our stuff. And so I don't look at the African any different than I look at any other, ethnic group that comes over and tries to take that place.
If that's the case, where is your campaign against the Latinos? Because I don't see it.
Man. Really?
Really? Shout out to first class. Shout out to first class citizen for the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. Like, really?
Yeah, we go in on that too. The hell we don't. Man, come on. Yeah, we call that out too. Also, the Latinos can't tether onto us because we see that they are an ethnic other. So they can't come in tethering on us. They can't jump up where they jump up on the minority benefits. But anything, the minute we do something Black, the same people who would tell us they ain't Black, they're Nigerian, they're not Black, they're Ghanaian, they're not Black, they're Jamaican. The minute we do something Black or have some kind of Black benefit, we have a Juneteenth scholarship, all of a sudden, all these people with these African last names and these Afro-Caribbean last names are jumping up there trying to get it. The Latinos can't do that. The pale Latinos, the white passing ones can't do that. So yeah, watch these bad faith arguments. Hold on.
Where's your campaign against the Caucasian immigrants? I don't see it.
They're not tethering onto us.
Your campaign against the South Asian and North Asian?
They're not tethering, and we do call them out.
Immigrants? I don't see.
But see, what I think fragmented everything is the reparation talk. And so I think the reparation talk, a lot of the foundational, and I'm, I could be speaking out of school, but my limited understanding of it is, I think that they believe that the reparations belong to descendants of slaves.
Well, I'm going to say this as a pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight.
Who?
He lying, man. No, you didn't. He said we invented the reparations fight. Pan-Africans. You're telling a bold-faced lie.
Come from FBA, it don't come from ADOS. This was around before they were born.
Foundational Black Americans have always been around since the beginning, before this country. So I don't know what kind of reframing that is. Yeah, whoever started reparations were foundational Black Americans.
You feel me? Pan-Africanists gave birth to it. Reparations for me is not about different groups and sects of the race.
He's trying to all lives matter the reparations.
Fighting for their crumb off the big pie. This should be one fight. One reparation. Do you feel me, Loon?
No.
We can split it up how we want to split.
That's crashing it out right there. You listen to this nonsense, it's done.
Split it up after we get it. But by you fighting divided for the same restitution, you playing right into the hands of your enemy.
Man, every Black person on the planet should get it. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
He said he's trying to all lives matter the reparations. That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to all lives matter the reparations, saying everybody that's Black can come get it. Nah, man, Black people in Africa got to fight their own battles. Why don't you ask Africa, what did they do with the money that the white man gave them when they sold Black folks? What did Africans in Africa do with the money when they sold Black folks to the white man? The white man gave you money and you sold Black folks. What did Africa do with the money? That's crazy.
Then we'll get nothing. We had to go through slavery here when these other fools were selling us. He wants the people who sold us to get a piece of, he wants them to spin the block and get some more money. That's what the African Union was trying to do. Yeah, the sixth region, our brothers. So listen, Europe, all of y'all give us, the African Union, the reparations, and we'll divvy it out the way we see fit. You know we won't get a dime if we let them damn musty Negroes get it. You know good and well we won't get nothing. Hell no. Hell no. Come on. Hold on.
There was one slavery, took some of us to the Caribbean. There was one slavery, took some of us to...
They need to holler at CARICOM. They got CARICOM and we're not included in CARICOM. Let them get their CARICOM on.
The Americas. There was one slavery, took some of us to Central and South America, right? But there was one African...
How is it one? When black people from other countries got their own culture and waved their own flags, they separate themselves from black Americans. And that's cool if that's what they want to do. But there's no reason for us to share reparations with them, or we're going to come together collectively to fight for. We're going to come together collectively to fight for global reparations as one black nation. It'll never happen. Why? Because Africans in Africa are not united. Africans in Africa don't even like each other. South Africans can't stand West Africans. West Africans can't stand South Africans. There's no unity in the motherland. You must clean up your backyard first before you do anything with somebody else.
Slavery. So the Africans of the world, from the continent to the British, Canada had slavery, Australia had it, right?
Let them all deal with their respective colonizers.
We should all come and sit down. Let's fight this together.
Man, ain't no dude. These folks ain't trying to fight nothing. Everything is all about the burden of us unifying everybody and feeding everybody. We ain't feeding nobody no more, man. We feed everybody and then we're beaten and bruised for fighting for everybody, because we've done that in the civil rights movement. We were the ones fighting for everybody's civil rights. We did that. No Africans or Caribbeans were getting unalive. They weren't being martyred in the civil rights movement. We were. Then their descendants, they turn around and tell us, well, damn it, I came over here with $2. How come I can come here with $3 and I'm doing real good and y'all been here for 500 years and y'all is not doing good? We get that. Man, we're so cool on that. We ain't doing that. No, no, no. Everybody fight. Go holler at France or whoever colonized you. No. Let me tell you something. No, we can't all sit down together, because all of these other people, especially in Africa, they sign damn deals. And all that's going to happen is those European nations are going to say, hey,
shout out to Dexter, man. I appreciate you, Dexter, for the lovely, wonderful Cash App. Shout out to Dexter. Shout out to Trojan. We got Trojan that blessed us with a Cash App as well. Shout out to the people for blessing that Cash App. Yeah. Dr. Umar is trying to all lives matter the reparations movement. We need to just do it together. Let's do it together. What? You're going to end up with nothing trying to do everything together with people who don't like you in the first place. Just because somebody is black don't mean that they like you. Don't mean that they rock with you. Africans in Africa sold black people to the white man. You really want us to fight for reparations with them? They didn't share none of that money with black folks. What did Africans do with the money? What did Africans do with the money that the white man gave them to sell black folks? What did Africans do with that money? Yeah.
Yo, Senegal, what you sitting down here for? Hey, let me show you this treaty. Remember your chiefs signed this a couple of 100 years ago? So yeah, y'all gave us the land. So what you complaining about? You signed a deal, remember? They're going to throw them treaties in your damn face. All they're going to do is throw treaties. That's why they don't really kick and scream and fight like that over there for nothing. To be honest, they throw them treaties in your face. You signed the deal now. Yeah, we can't do anything with that. We never signed no deal. That's why it's up with us. We're the wild card. They can't come to us and say, well, you signed this. No, the hell we didn't. We didn't sign nothing. We've never legitimized you, and you owe. We have a righteous claim and a moral claim, ladies and gentlemen, that other people don't have. Oh, Lord, let me play the rest. Hold on.
I think they reject
You
that.
would get it quicker.
Yeah.
You would get more. Because guess what? It's a united front. But because we hate each other more than we hate racism.
We don't hate nobody. Just hold your own nuts. We don't hate nothing. We're just not going to let non-FBAs represent us because they do a horrible job.
Because we hate each other more than we hate racism. I don't want to unite with no black Africans. I don't want to unite with no Caribbeans. And you got
The name Africa itself was created during Roman invasion, right? Africa is not even the original name of the continent. So when you identify with being African, well, we could say that comes from a white man because Africa is not the original name of the continent. That's not the original name. So when you call yourself African, when you call yourself African, you're identifying with a person that they named the continent after. Africanus, I believe his name was something. I forget his first name, but his name was Africanus. So they named the whole continent after him and called it Africa, but the man's name was Africanus. Hit the like button. Let's get back to the content, though, family.
Africans saying the same thing. I don't want to unite with no descendants of no slaves.
Yeah, well, they come over here and they got to eat off of us.
Right? I want to fight my own thing. So
And they don't want to fight nothing. No, that's not true.
ECOWAS got their own fight. Black British got their own fight. Canada got their own fight. Black America got their own fight. And it's sectionalized, sectarian.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody communicating with each other. So the white man going to play his old game of what? Divide and conquer.
And and the main people who can get infiltrated to undermine us are the Tethers. No, we can't unite. That's
Leo Africanus. Thank you. Leo Africanus was his name. Africans in Africa got paid by the white man to sell black folks.
that's Fed talk. When folks come around us, as y'all know, when we try to get reparations, and y'all been to some of these task force meetings all over the country, family, FBA family, y'all know the main people we've been having a goddamn problem with are tethers on the damn reparations task force. Every time we go to a reparations hearing or reparations meeting, a reparations community council meeting, they got a bunch of tethers there crashing it out and undermining everything. That's been part of the problem. You understand? That the tethers have been sabotaging our damn reparations left and right. Remember when they had that televised reparations hearing? Like 2019, something like that. Who they have up there? Candace Owens, who's Caribbean and identifies as Caribbean. Coleman Hughes, who's Puerto Rican. Both people are not qualified for reparations. They up here, man, we don't need reparations. We need to stop. We need to just work hard. We don't need reparations. These are two people who aren't even qualified for it. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need nobody who's not of our lineage misrepresenting us. All right, let me play some more. Hold on.
Separate and rule.
That's why I wanted to have a conversation about the FBA and the Pan-Africanism, because that's what's going on. Although I hear when you speak, although you're Pan-Africanist, I hear some of the stuff I hear from foundational Black Americans.
Well, remember, there's nothing wrong with advocating the rights of your unique group. A Pan-Africanist in South Africa can speak up for South Africans and still recognize the greater vision and greater goal of a united race. You see that? So as Pan-Africanists, we don't just focus on the whole. That's the goal. But we also got to take care of our people where we are. So I don't have an issue with the American African people having a Black agenda for themselves.
That American African thing, yeah, no.
That they need to carry out. It's only when you start criminalizing and antagonizing other Africans as if they're responsible for the condition you in. Loon, there's only 3 million.
Hold on.
And let me also say this, Loon. Let us be honest. What do we know about the psychology of oppression?
Hold on.
What do you mean by that, Loon? I don't want to be the most oppressed person. Black Africa and Black America, a lot of this is victim consciousness.
Nonsense. It's not victim consciousness. Black people in America, foundational Black Americans, we want to do our own thing. Let Africans do their own thing. We get nothing. Fighting for global reparations, you end up with nothing because you got a bunch of tethers you're gonna have a bunch of tethers misrepresenting you. Fighting for if we fight for global reparations alongside with Africans, we'll end up getting nothing, absolutely nothing. You will get nothing. Why would foundational Black Americans try to unite with a bunch of Africans who are not even united themselves? South Africans don't like West Africans. West Africans don't like South Africans. Shit. People in West Africa don't even like each other. People from Ghana don't want Nigerians coming over there. Nigerians don't want people from Ghana in Nigeria. There's a whole bunch of tribalism, separation, and division in Africa.
I don't want to be the lowest, so I'm going to victimize and step on the African immigrant because in America.
Okay, this is just a bunch of straw man. I'm trying to get to the part where he's trying to start his own thing. Hold on.
My own trade market, stock market, rather than build myself up to compete with everybody else, I'm just going to demonize.
But what if it's
every African group in the world? Because remember now, I've met them all.
If it's about or Americans, descendants of slaves, because I had Africanism.
That is inclusive of everybody. Nobody else has that. They want to make you a he. That is inclusive of everybody. The whole. We're the only philosophy. We play in the long game. And we are the only one reparation. Do you feel me, Loon? We can split it up how we want.
Where's that part?
Split it up. Took some of us to
I'm trying to find the part where he's talking about he's going to start the descendants.
You ain't gonna see no FBA on no documents. You ain't gonna see no ADOS on no documents. You ain't gonna see no Hebrew, no Moor, no Nawapi, and none of that. And I love them all.
This is Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan Pizza, the Prince of Pork Chops, the Prince of Pork and Beans, the Prince of Pan Pizza, the Prince of Pork and Beans, the Prince of Fried Pork Chops with extra gravy, baby. Dr. Umar. Yeah. Shout out to Eddie C. He said, man, for pan-Africanism was the first mistake. It was one of our first mistakes fighting for pan-Africanism. Well, a lot of people didn't know, but shout out to Eddie C for the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. I agree. Terrible mistake. Critical mistake. Fighting with a bunch of people who sold you to the white man in the first place. Shit, Charleston White did a video, said, I thank God for slavery. Jesse Lee Peterson said, I thank God for slavery. I'm glad the white man sent us over here. Don't nobody want to live in Africa. So that's the main reason that Charleston White said he thanks God for slavery. If it wasn't for slavery, he might be back in Africa. Jesse Lee Peterson said the same thing. If it wasn't for slavery, he'll be stuck in Africa. So with that being the case, he said, thank God for slavery. Words of Jesse Lee Peterson, words of Charleston White.
But what the white man said in his security memorandum was what? We cannot allow night at all. Culturally,
right. Yeah.
Humans come in because slavery didn't happen to
America says.
I'm trying to.
But my ancestors do. Am I wrong? Who Jamaica want reparations from? The British.
Okay, I'm trying to find where. I'm trying to find up where he's talking about the DA descendants of freedmen. Hold on.
The American African, to your point, Loon, from 1770 has the ADOS FBAs. They admit their ancestors came from Africa. They just are of the opinion that don't matter no more.
Right.
I don't know how you get there, because as the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, a people without knowledge of themselves is like a tree without roots.
Garvey wasn't about shit.
I would love to see an FBA history book for their kids. I would love to see an ADOS FBA history book for children.
Someone said I got to prep better. Yeah, right here it says, he says it here, but he doesn't say it. So I thought it was already queued up, but they got it mislabeled. So that's my bad. Okay.
If they ever build an ADOS FBA school, how are y'all going to treat identity in history? Because y'all cutting yourself off from your root, and you identifying with a man who's trying to get rid of you. That's the weakness of the movement, Lou.
Who is that they're identifying with?
Say that again.
Who is that they are identifying with this triangle?
Americans.
Okay.
Both of them call themselves Americans, both groups. So they're identifying with the plantation.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
We're identifying with our lineage. We are Americans. We built the culture of this country. That's why you here.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yes.
But they cut themselves off from the ancestors.
But you're here.
You see that? To me, that is from a meaningful Russia. All my black brothers and divide. They're not. It's equal. Some of the stuff I've seen.
Okay, I'm trying to find.
Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready, there needs to be a progressive American African movement that looks out for the best interests of the American African people, that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad, and that looks,
meaning don't make them accountable,
to build relationships with them as far as that can be done. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, Descendants of African Freedmen in America. Remember them.
DAFA. If you dumb enough to follow Dr. Umar's movement, you crazy. You lack brain cells. Listen. Dr. Umar needs to open that school before he gets somebody to follow his movement. Open the school first before you try to start a movement to counteract foundational Black Americans and what we doing over here. Anybody signing up for that DAFA movement is an idiot. Tell this man to finish that school first. All that money he done took for them people, and he still ain't opened the damn school yet. Who's dumb enough to follow that DAFA movement? This fool ain't even opened it. He ain't even opened up that school yet. And you're gonna be dumb enough to follow a DAFA movement? A bootleg FBA movement? DAFA. Man, who's dumb enough to follow that? Open the school first, Dr. Umar.
After freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen, so we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're going to get pushback for even launching that?
All right.
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Hey, you ain't strong. You stronger than a non-existent group. A non-existent group is whooping you, brother. Yeah, there is no.
He said, Dr. Umar, the prince of pan-Africanism, the prince of pan-Africanism, the King Kong of consciousness, the prince of fried pork chops and gravy with extra gravy, baby. Dr. Umar is the prince of fried pork chops with extra gravy, baby. That's what he's the prince of. The prince of fried pinto beans, the prince of pan pizza. I'm stronger than both of those things put together. This fool can't even open the school, and people then gave him millions, and he got the nerve to talk about who he's more powerful than. This fool ain't even opened. This fool can't even open the school. Open the school, you fool. Trying to create a DAFA movement. He ain't even opened up the damn school, and people didn't gave you millions.
Group called FBA, and it's whooping you. FBA is not an organization, and it's still whooping you. You're getting whooped by an imaginary organization. It's a lineage. Not the DAFA movement.
Oh man, the DAFA. Who's dumb enough to follow the DAFA movement? Dr. Umar, the prince of fried pork chops with fried pinto beans with extra gravy, baby. This fool can't even open a school and he got the nerve to talk about a DAFA movement. Man, please.
Stronger than a non-existent group. A non-existent group is whooping you, brother. Yeah, there is no group called FBA and it's whooping you. FBA is not an organization and it's still whooping you. You're getting whooped by an imaginary organization. It's a lineage. Not the DAFA movement.
Oh man.
Oh God, not DAFA. Not DAFA.
This fool said the DAFA movement, man. Like, come on, doctor. Tell that fool to open up that damn school. Talking about a DAFA movement. You're going to have a bunch of musty Negroes and dashikis marching and stampeding, talking about the DAFA movement. I can see it now. It's going to be a bunch of dusty Negroes with dashikis on, marching behind Dr. Umar.
Lord. Whooping you.
Oh, man.
FBA is not an organization and it's still whooping you. You're getting whooped by an imaginary organization. It's a lineage. Not the DAFA movement.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Not DAFA.
Oh, man.
Not DAFA. Lord. Man, come on. Man. Dude, that's hilarious. That is hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. Good Lord. It's the descendants of African freedmen. Wait, what is it? The descendants of African freedmen in America? Oh yeah, descendants of African freedmen. Hold on. Let me get it again. Hold on. Let me see what he said again. Hold on. One more time. Hold on.
Descendants of African freedmen in America.
Oh, okay, there we go. Descendants of African freedmen in America. He's never going to use the American name while sitting your big ass up here in America. All right. DAFA, that stands for donuts, avocado wrap, fries, and apple cider, nigga. That's what DAFA stands for. Oh, God. So he wants to start his own bootleg FBA delineation movement. All right. Let's get some history straight. Let's get some history straight, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, while I'm talking, can y'all hit that Kickstarter link, ladies and gentlemen? While I'm talking, please, if you hit that Kickstarter link and let's
hit the like button, man. Like I said, man. Hey, man, that was funny, though, the DAFA movement. Tell that fool to open up that damn school before he try to create some damn DAFA movement. Who's dumb enough to follow that movement? It's going to be a bunch of musty Negroes with sandals and dashikis talking about let's go back to Africa. Man, please.
Tribute to the making of Hidden Color 6, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get that goal for Hidden Color 6. If you can hit that link while I'm talking, that'd be great, family. Let's look at Columbus and those people, but verifiable. When the
hit the like button, man. Let's go to this clip right here. Yeah, man, we're gonna fight for the DAFA. The DAFA movement. Man, please. You sound crazy. DAFA.
Black American movement, the fraudulent, but listen, I do not endorse tribalism. As pan-Africanists, we do not endorse tribalism. Black American movement, the fraudulent, but listen, I do not endorse tribalism. As pan-Africanists, we do not endorse tribalism, period. I'm not going to endorse the Igbo versus the Yoruba. I'm not going to endorse the Zulu versus the Xhosa. I'm not going to endorse the Mandingo versus the Wolof. You understand? I'm not going to endorse the Kikuyu versus the Maasai. I'm not going to endorse the American African from the immigrant American African. I'm not for... Pan-Africanism means oneness. Pan-Africanism means oneness. Pan-Africanism means oneness.
He got to say it 3 times, man. Listen, hey, man, you know Dr. Umar got to say it 3. Watch him say it 3 times again. Say it again.
Pan-Africanism means American African. I'm not for... Pan-Africanism means oneness. Pan-Africanism means oneness. Pan-Africanism means oneness. So I don't support the FBA. I don't support ADOS. They are nothing but reactionary, divisive, tribalistic Negro movements created by opportunists to try to get paid off of inciting division within the African race. I will not co-sign it and I will not support it. That's my position. The only FBA that I know of as a school psychologist, the only FBA that I know of as a school psychologist stands for Functional Behavioral Assessment. Functional Behavioral Assessment, which is an investigation into the causes of misbehavior in school children. That's the only FBA I know. Functional Behavioral Assessment. And I'm a master at conducting functional behavioral assessments. Great question, Sister Demi. I don't support those movements. Brother Frederick, when are you coming back to Boston? I was last in Boston.
Oh, man. Hit the like button, man. Show some love to the content.
Light District. He wants to know why the foundational Black Americans don't like Caribbean blacks. Honestly, Light District. He wants to know why the foundational Black Americans don't like Caribbean blacks. Honestly, you should probably ask their quote-unquote leader. I think their quote-unquote leader would have a better answer for you. But as the voice of Garveyism in the 21st century, and as the voice for revolutionary Pan-Africanism in the 21st century, I do not support that organization or its rhetoric, nor do I support the other organizations that are similar somewhat in scope, function, and philosophy. I believe in the total and unconditional unification and liberation of all African people in the world. I do not put conditions on my loyalty. I do not put conditions on my unity. I personally believe that all these organizations were thought up by hustlers and opportunists. I think some of them are funded by the power structure to divide Africa, not put conditions on my unity. I personally believe that all these organizations were thought up by hustlers and opportunists. I think some of them are funded by the power structure to divide Africans against Africans. I do not see anything good coming out of these organizations. None of them have a nationalist bone in their body. Most of them just want to beg the white man for reparations while they hate on African immigrants, but do nothing about the real groups that are stealing and robbing from black people. They don't say nothing about the rainbow community. They don't say nothing about the white Latino community. They don't say anything at all about the feminists, but yet they want to demonize and criminalize African immigrants. I do not support it. All African immigrants are my family. They are my brothers and sisters. I have no issues with them. Black people are very comfortable at the bottom of the barrel. Black people are very comfortable being at the bottom of the totem pole in America. Negroes are comfortable at the bottom of the social power structure as long as they got a cell phone, a car, a place to sleep, and they can buy some fried chicken and go to church. They cool. Negroes don't need much. All Negroes need is some fried chicken, a cell phone, a weave, a white girlfriend, some Jordans, a nice car, and they good. So it ain't just the leader's fault, it's the people's fault. But I appreciate David Banner. I appreciate Dr. Claude Anderson. I appreciate Dr. Mariwa and Ajwa Kwesi. I appreciate Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Queen Mother Rosalind Jeffries. I appreciate Baba Smalls. I appreciate Charles Finch. I appreciate Dr. Tony Browder. Who else? I appreciate Dr. Baruch of Everlasting Life Cafe. I appreciate Queen Afua. I appreciate the brother, what is his name? He's a holistic health. I appreciate all the holistic health practitioners.
Umar Umar been talking that cash, isn't it? Talking cash, isn't it? Yeah, true story.
With that. You want to be a Choctaw, you want to be a Cherokee.
That kills. You're going to be in your car crying, wanting to go to the Grand Canyon. That's what this app does to people. All right. So don't be a victim of pseudo crack rock. OK, family, please, family, whatever you do, do not lose your African mind on this damn app.
For my American Indians, for my pretendians, listen, if you want to be a pretendian, I have no problem with that. You want to be a Choctaw, you want to be a Cherokee, no problem. You want to be a Seminole, no problem. I'm just asking you one thing. Where is your casino so we can hire some of these black men on the street? I don't want to hear about no damn pretendian nation until you got a reserve with a casino and some land so you can build some houses and create some jobs for black people. All this pretendian rhetoric. I keep hearing about all these pretendians, but I ain't seen no land, no casinos, no businesses, no institutions. Can somebody please show me a single pretendian reservation? I'ma wait. Can somebody please show Dr. Umar? Can somebody give me the name or the address of a pretendian reservation, pretendian casino? Because all the Native Americans I see, they got land, they got casinos, they got their own schools. Can somebody show me a Negro pretendian community that has its own land, its own businesses, its own schools, its own communities? Otherwise, this is a bunch of intellectual masturbation. Intellectual masturbation. You don't want...
Dr. Umar said, show me the pretendian reservation that hires black folks. Show me the pretendian reservation.
Businesses, its own schools, its own communities. Otherwise, this is a bunch of intellectual masturbation. Intellectual masturbation. You don't want to be black. You're ashamed of being African, so you're going to create a fictitious identity. And let me say this, it is your right to create a fictitious identity. I ain't got no problem with you. Pan-Africanism is the original black man's ideology. Pan-Africanism will be the black man's last ideology. All the greatest leaders were Pan-Africanists. All the greatest revolutionaries were Pan-Africanists. No other ideology can touch us. None of you. No religious ideology, no political ideology. Nobody can compete with Marcus Garvey. Nobody. Nobody can compete with Kwame Nkrumah. Nobody. Nobody can compete with Patrice Lumumba. Nobody. Nobody can compete with Henry Haile Garnett. Nobody. And in a modern time, right now, not one of you can compete with me. Not one of you. On no level, you can't tie my shell tops. Okay? So there's no competition here. I have no competition. Pan-Africanism has no competition. Not the Pretendians, not the Hebrews. None of you are a threat to anything we do, believe, or working for. But what I'm asking for is this. If the Pretendians are serious about being Indians, because is this. If the Pretendians are serious about being Indians, because I've already told you, the first Americans were Africans. Let me say that again. The first people on this continent were from Africa. It was recorded, it is written, it is archived, it's in Africa, it's in the libraries over here. The scholarship has been done. The first people here were Africans. That's undisputable, okay? But y'all don't want to admit that because you hate yourself. So, Pretendians, where are your institutions? If you want people to join your fictitious nation, you have to have institutions for these people. Where are the Pretendian communities? Where are the Pretendian casinos? Where are the Pretendian reserves? You don't have none, and you're never going to get none. And I'm going to tell you why. None of the leaders of the Pretendian community, not one of them, is an institution builder or an activist. Not one. Let me say it again. I need my millennial gang to listen up, because y'all the ones they brainwashing. I need my millennial gang to listen up. There's not a single Pretendian spokesperson who is an activist or an institution builder. Every last one is a YouTubian blogger. That's it. That's all they ever going to do the rest of their life. Come back 20 years from now. We're going to have 20 FDMG academies, and they will still be on YouTube telling you you're not from Africa, you are a Pretendian. No jobs for your kids, no security for your women, no institutions for the people, no land that they own. They are nothing but YouTubian bloggers and opportunists. They are not activists. They are not institution builders. You are a Pretendian. No jobs for your kids, no security for your women, no institutions for the people, no land that they own. They are nothing but YouTubian bloggers and opportunists. They are not activists. They are not institution builders. See, that's why the Pan-Africanists are always going to win out, because we do street work. We
America is actually ancient Egypt, and they flip the maps and all this stuff.
All right, man. This is what, man, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. He said Pretendians. The Pretendians don't have casinos. The Pretendians don't have lands. The Pretendians don't have institutions. Dr. Umar said he's coming for you Pretendians. Oh, Dr. Umar said he's coming for you Pretendians. He got a trick up his sleeve for all you Pretendians who refuse to be Africans. Oh, man. He said these Pretendians are YouTubians. They have no institutions. They have no land. They have no jobs for the people. Dr. Umar said he's coming for you. He's coming for all you YouTubian struggle streamers. He's coming for you. Shout out to Go Gadget, man. I appreciate you, brother, man. Shout out to everybody for rocking with us today, man. King Supreme gonna be back with another show later on today. We've been up here for 2 hours cooking and chopping up game. First thing in the morning, you already know. Shout out to Scoop. This FBA thing ain't for the weak. Shout out to Scoop in the building. You know, peace, love, and Pan-Africanism. Peace, love, and Pan-Africanism. This is Dr. Umar Ifatunde, the Prince of Fried Pork Chops and Fried Pinto Beans. What extra gravy, baby? I am coming for all you YouTubian pretending struggle streamers. I am coming for all you YouTubian pretending struggle streamers. I am coming for all of you YouTubian pretending struggle streamers. This is Dr. Umar, the Prince of fried pork chops, fried pinto beans with extra gravy, baby. I'm up out of this thing. It's King Supreme. I'll be back with some more content later on. King Supreme is signing off. Peace to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's been real, people. It's all love. King Supreme. I'm up out of this thing, y'all. I'm gone.